Welcome everyone to the Plexus Lessons from our Teachers. My name is Amanda Grubb and I'm currently an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I've been with the company almost a year and a half, and tonight we are going to hear from 5 amazing teachers and how Plexus has changed their lives both personally and as a teacher, which is really cool. First of all, of course, we have to give the ever fun disclaimer that everyone always loves to hear. We want you to know that the people you're going to hear from tonight are Plexus ambassadors. They are sharing their personal stories, not any stories sponsored by Plexus worldwide. You'll hear about products that have helped them and financial freedom they have gained, and all that information is based on what those individuals' work ethic and experience with the products. So, that being said, I'm actually not a teacher, but I'm very blessed to work with all of these amazing teachers through Plexus. And if there's one thing that I know about teachers, it's that you are all hard workers. Hard workers. I mean, you teachers are amazing. I know, especially my daughter goes to a Spanish immersion school, and every time I want to hug them every time I pick her up. The teachers are so incredible. So, how many of you out there might moonlight on the weekends for extra money or get a part-time job over the summer during your very short 8-week summer break? I know some of you even have shorter summer breaks. But I bet it's a lot of you. I bet it's a lot. So through the stories you're going to hear tonight, our goal is to show you how Plexus has changed the lives of these incredible teachers, and we hope that they can do the same for you. So first, we are going to hear from Rachel Jones. I'm going to put her on. Rachel, are you there?
Hey guys, thanks Amanda. Sorry you're cutting out a little, so I hope I didn't cut you off. I'm Rachel Jones, like Amanda said. I am a Senior Gold Almost Ruby Ambassador, and you can ask whoever invited you here what that means, and I'll probably explain it a little bit more later. I am a teacher for another 6 days, and the reason I'm able to retire at the prime age of 26 is 100% because of Plexus. It's still pretty surreal to me. I was actually packing up my classroom today, kind of getting the tables stacked up for the end of the year, and I just kind of had this moment where I looked at my empty room and thought to myself, like, is this really happening? I've been planning for it all year, and I knew it was going to happen, but I wanted to fulfill my contract, so I did work full-time and continue to do Plexus throughout this whole entire year. So I knew it was coming. I knew that I was going to retire, but it wasn't real today until I kind of left and switched off my lights and walked out, and my classroom was basically empty. When I was driving in my car, I just couldn't help but thank the Lord for this opportunity that came into my life and has now made me be able to make enough financially to support myself and surpass my teaching income, which is crazy, and that is all in less than 14 months. So let me tell you, I'm going to kind of compress my story. I actually got introduced to Plexus by my co-teacher, who she's catty corner to me. Jill and I, you're going to hear from her last today, we have always been kind of like diet buddies, and I know that y'all have those kind of girls, you're like ride or die, where you're like, oh my gosh, I saw this awesome, drink nothing and you lose weight, or don't eat, or eat smoothies and you're going to lose 100 pounds. You want to do it with me? We were always those people that did that together. We were not smart. We would do all these crazy crash diets. We would work out all the time, and we just weren't seeing the results that we wanted. We'd eat so healthy Monday through Thursday. I will say Monday through Friday at lunch, I'll say. We would eat, we'd have our lettuce, we'd have all the stuff that you don't really want to eat, but you eat in bulk, basically you eat like a rabbit to trying to lose weight. And, then Friday after school, I'd pop by her door on the way, and I'd be like, hey, happy hour, let's go get some chips and queso. We were those people. So we were not consistent, and we were not able to kick those crazy cravings that we had. So we just weren't able ever to get to the results that we wanted. So Along goes the whole year of us doing this. We leave for summer break. Jill comes back, and the girl's lost like 15 pounds at least, probably. She looks great, and I'm like, what the heck? We're supposed to be like fat together. Okay. Like, y'all have those thoughts too. We're like totally vain. And I was like, what the heck is she doing? So I saw her posting about Plexus. I saw her carrying around her little pink drink at school, but I never asked. I'm totally that stubborn person that's like, no, that stuff is dumb. It's not going to work. There's no way. It's a fraud. I'm going to do it my own way. So I continued to eat healthy, and I continued to work out about 4 to 5 times a week. I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning in order to work out and get to school on time. Jill is over here, catty corner to me, losing all this weight, looking great, coming into work with energy, and I'm over here killing myself, still being the same old tired person. So fast forward a little bit, this keeps on going on, and I just cannot kick my lack of energy. I came to work every single day with a cup of coffee in my hand. I would chug my coffee, go down to the workroom, grab another cup of coffee before the kids came, chug that cup of coffee, send them off to specials, go get another cup. I could not stay awake during the day. I was confused because I thought I was doing everything right. I thought I was, eating when I was supposed to. And yeah, I'd eat bad on the weekends, but, it really should not have affected me the way it did. So finally, about 8 months after watching Jill just become like glowing, really, I finally busted into her classroom and I said, what are you doing? Obviously, whatever you're doing is working because you don't come in dragging anymore like you used to. You have energy to get through the day. I don't ever see you going to get coffee anymore. What is the deal? Like, you're not coming in with Starbucks anymore. So needless to say, they had a little meeting kind of like this, but in person, that I went to, and I signed up as an ambassador to get the cheapest price. It's definitely the cheapest way to buy your products, and whoever invited you can tell you about that. But I signed up right away for it, and on day 3 of taking the pink drink, day 3, I was completely off of caffeine, and that is crazy because let me tell you my routine. Wake up, drink two cups of coffee before I went to work, stop by the gas station, grab another cup of coffee. Y'all, those people literally knew me by name. One time I didn't have money going into the gas station. The person gave it to me for free and said, I know you're coming in tomorrow. You can pay me then. That's how often I stopped by and got coffee. So we're up to 3 cups of coffee now. I'd get to work. I'd get my 2 cups of coffee. I'm up to 5 cups of coffee now. I would drink an energy drink that I got at the gas station at lunch. After lunch, I would get another cup of coffee, 6 cups of coffee. And then after work, if I was really tired on the way home, I would get another energy drink. 6 cups of coffee, 2 energy drinks. 26 years old. Not okay. Day 3 of being on Plexus, I was able to completely kick my caffeine habit. It was crazy. And ever since then, I haven't needed it. I've not had one sip of any energy drink, and no Monster, anything, in 14 months. That's insane to me. Another thing that Plexus has really helped me with is my acne. Another thing I noticed about Jill is that her acne was getting a lot better. And as you can see, I mean, I'm still not perfect skin by any means, but I used to have severe acne, and that's because I had lots of nasty junk and funk inside my body. So our probiotic is really, really awesome for that and has completely turned that around. So now more on the financial side. I just kind of shared with people what I liked about Plexus, kind of like Jill did with me. Jill never pressured me into trying it by any means. I just saw how good she felt. And that's really what happens. People just kind of see how good they feel. They ask what you're doing. You tell them. They want to join you. You're making money. The first month, I made enough money to pay my new car payment that honestly I got the car and I couldn't afford. It was the exact amount of my car payment, and that's when I knew that there was something with Plexus. That's when I knew that God put this in my path for a reason. The second month, I was able to pay pretty much, it was the exact amount of money that our mortgage was. In the second month, y'all, I looked at, they send these little reports that you can check your how much you made that month. I checked my report. I was literally in the restroom on my phone scrolling. Y'all know you do that. Don't judge, y'all. I'm just real. That's me. So I was scrolling, and I looked, and I was like, Kevin! That's my fiance's name. I was screaming. I was like, oh my gosh, I made enough for our mortgage. He was like, what? And I said, I'm calling Jill. So he's like, don't call her. It's like 12. I'm like, I'm calling her. So I called her. said, Jill, look, I made this much money. They messed up. She's like, girl, I told you. I don't know why you didn't jump on this train earlier. And that's when I realized, wow, this opportunity is real. I'm not going to tell you what's happened between now and then, but I've shared with a lot of people. A lot of people have had their lives changed because of the products and because of this business opportunity. And y'all, it's because the products work. They're incredible. And because of that now, in less than a year, or I'm sorry, less than a year and a half, I should say, about 14 months, my team has built big enough where I'm now able to retire myself at 26. My fiance and I are actually flying to Ireland in August to get married there, which is insane. Let me tell you how that would have never happened. We couldn't even afford a JP wedding before that, and I'm pretty sure those are like free. Like they'll pay you to get married, I'm pretty sure. We could not even afford that, and now we're able to have this incredible wedding in Ireland and this incredible reception, all paid for by Plexus. Y'all, this opportunity is real. The products are real. And like I told y'all before, I'm juggling my full-time job right now and Plexus, and I'm able to make it work. Yes, I may look like this by the end of the day, but I'm able to cram both of those into there, and I'm able to work Plexus part-time and make more than my full-time job. So if you're really thinking about this, if you're really, looking for a change or looking for something different, looking for something more, this is it, y'all. Get with the person that invited you here. This business is real. Talk to them about it. They're not pulling wool over your eyes. So thanks, Amanda, so much for having me, and I hope that this really helped someone out there that needed to hear this, because I know that I was this major skeptic, and I'm so glad I said yes and paid that $34.95.
Rachel, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, you're retiring at 26. Oh my gosh. And even better, you just paid for your dream wedding. Like, who can say if they did that, especially at 26? That's incredible. You should be so, so proud of yourself.
Girl.
I love what you said about the fact that Jill was your person that you always did stuff with, that you would take that leap of faith with, and you noticed the change in her and thought, what are you doing? And I think we all have that friend, and that's what makes this business so fun and so easy, is because all you're doing is talking to your friends, the same way you'd recommend a movie or a restaurant or something like that. It's all just talking to your friends and then them taking this journey with you, which I think is so, so cool. So next we are going to hear from Miss Allie Day. Allie, are you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Always having technical difficulties. Well, I too am, I'll say was a teacher. I was influenced by Jill, the same person Rachel was influenced by, to give Plexus a try. But I kind of wanted to tell my story pre-Plexus before I roll into kind of talking about what got me started on the products, my experience, and then where I'm at now. So before Plexus, before I ever even heard about it, I was not the healthiest person. I had, in college, just, really didn't take care of myself and all of that. So I reached a point where I just was really unhappy with the way I was feeling, the way I was looking, just you hit that point at some, something just, strikes within you and you're like, okay, I got to make a change here. So started on my health journey, tried lots of different things, different diets, different workouts, combinations of diet and workout, and just really was on my way to trying to be healthy. I ended up kind of on the opposite extreme and got to a point where I was eating so incredibly healthy, so healthy, and exercising. I mean, I was probably a little obsessed with exercise, and I reached a point where I wouldn't go over to people's houses for dinner when they would invite me. I wouldn't go out to eat. I wouldn't really enjoy life. And that just wasn't sustainable. I realized, that I was missing out on hanging out with friends, on relationships, because I was just so obsessed with working out and eating perfectly. And really, I feel like people said it was inspiring, but every time people would say that, I just kind of thought to myself, like, you don't really want to live like this all of the time. There's no way you could want this. And so when I heard about Plexus from Jill, I was kind of not snooty to her, but like in my head, I was like, no. Like I legitimately thought, okay, no, that's a placebo. You're nuts. Um, I just felt like the right way to do it is diet and exercise. But like Rachel said, I was tired. I was still craving. I still had to have a cheat meal. I still had to. I wanted those bad foods. I just resisted them. And I really wasn't happy. I wasn't feeling great. I had struggled with a lot of different kind of issues with my mood and just stress and worrying about what people think and all of that for many, many years. And so that was getting me down too. And so Jill's telling me about Plexus, and I'm just like, no, that's not for me. But I ended up seeing a testimony of someone who had similar struggles to me, just with the stress and the mood and all of that. And it intrigued me. I thought, okay, if it's helping her, maybe it could help me too. And so I called up Jill and said, okay, tell me about this stuff. Let me have it. And quickly, I took the products for just a few days and noticed great energy. I was more focused. I felt like I could get out and about, go out and hang out with people, which is not something I was doing prior. I'd kind of closed myself off. And so I thought, okay, I've got to keep taking these products. And it took some time, it's probably about 4 or 5 months before I really felt strongly convicted that the products worked, right? Stubborn, hard-headed, all of those things. I'll take it. But I just realized I was feeling so great. I had lost some weight. I was not craving. I had so much energy. I wasn't having to kill myself at the gym all of the time. I was able to, I didn't even need a cheat meal. I just ate healthy. And then if I wanted a little something here or there, I would have it. I didn't feel guilty. I didn't punish myself at the gym. I just was feeling so much better. And so the biggest thing, though, the biggest part of my testimony, I feel like, as far as health goes, is my mood and my ability to be around people again and enjoy life was back. Before that, I felt like I was barely surviving. I would go to work, come home, go to bed, exercise, go to bed. I had no real social life. I didn't want to be around people. It exhausted me, and I felt like I had my life back. I felt like I was thriving rather than just surviving. And so that made me want to share Plexus with people. I didn't even care about a business. I didn't care about the money. I just felt it on my heart, truly convicted from the Lord to share with people, because I know there's so many people who struggle in the same way that I did. And so as I started sharing, just this, ripple effect kind of happened, and, my team just started growing, and I realized I had to be intentional because the growth was more than I even realized it was going to be, and I had to, kind of figure out how to do that. And it's just been so amazing. And so there is this kind of other piece to my story. So as far as being a teacher, I taught school for 3 years, elementary school, and I loved the kids. But with teaching school comes a lot of hours of work, right? Time away from home and a lot of stress. And I already shared the stress I already had, just naturally, the worries and all of that I already had. And so teaching really, really weighed on me. It was really, really hard. I taught in Title I schools, and it was just very difficult. And my husband and I were relocated for his job and moved to a new area. Didn't really know anyone this past fall. And what ended up happening is my school overstaffed teachers. And I was pulled into my principal's office on a Monday and said, your last day with your kids is Wednesday. You're going to need to pack up your classroom by Friday, and we're sending you to another school. And as you can imagine, for anyone, that would be extremely stressful and crazy, but especially someone who already was dealing so much with just stress and anxiety. That was that just rocked my world. And so I was heartbroken, truly. I didn't even know what to do. And if you're a teacher, packing up a classroom in 2 days and then setting up a new classroom in 2 more days, oh my, that would send anybody over the edge. So I was just so sad, and came home, cried on the phone to my husband, cried on the phone to several of my friends, and just said, what do I do? And y'all, Plexus. I was able to quit my job that week. Been 4 weeks into the school year, because of Plexus. I truly believe God, He really likes to show off sometimes. And that month, the paycheck that I received matched my teacher's salary. And I felt like that was my sign. You know, God was saying, I got you. You got this. We're gonna get through this. And I haven't looked back since. I was 24 years old then. And that's what happened. I quit my job, and it's been amazing. Since then, my business has been so, I mean, it's just taken off even more. I've been so blessed. And I just, it's for me, it's not about the money. Yes, of course, it pays our bills. Yes, of course, it's important, makes the world go round. But for me, it's so much about the opportunity to have, to call my own shots, to not have to call in when things happen, to not have to worry about sub plans. And so I actually did decide to go to work after I quit teaching. I wanted to see if there was something, you know, just, I kind of felt like I needed to get out of the house. I needed to have something in my life that was getting me out, meeting people. And so I went to work at a place as a temp for a couple of months, and resigned from that position in January. February 1st was my first day full-time Plexus, and you know, not getting another job. I realized that wasn't for me. I like being my own boss. I like calling my own shots. And the week that I quit, getting emotional, but the week that I quit that other job and decided to come home and you know, I was working my Plexus business full time. My aunt got very sick very suddenly. It's an aunt that I've been close to my whole life, and unfortunately, she did not make it. And I just remember that whole week thinking to myself, I'm so grateful I don't have to worry about a classroom full of kids right now. I'm so grateful that I don't have to step out of the room to cry because I just randomly cry, you know. I'm so grateful that my mom, you know, flying in, it was her sister flying in from Kentucky. I get to be with her and my family, and I don't have to worry. And so that was so eye-opening to me. I didn't realize how much I would appreciate the time freedom more than anything else. I just, you know, for me, that's what it's been. So I just really want to, I just want to say to you, I know that not everybody wants to quit their job. I know some people, they really love teaching. But I just want to offer up just that there's this opportunity to be able to earn some extra income. There's this opportunity to have a little bit more time. There's this opportunity to do something different, to have some fun. To try something else, you know. And so that's what I would challenge you to do, is just think about, you know, what could Plexus do for you, for your energy levels, for your stress levels, for your sleep, and just think about, you know, maybe how this could change just your schedule, your life, give you that freedom that I know so many of us really wish we had.
Thank you so much, Allie. You had me crying because I feel the exact same way. First of all, I love how you talked about there's a really big difference between being healthy and health obsessed. That health obsessed, it can take over your world. It can take over everything. If you are just healthy, it means you still get to interact with people. You still get to go out with friends and go out to dinner and have happy hours and stuff, but you're healthy from the inside, and that's so, so important. And then I also love that you said, well, the money is great for all of us. It's more than the money. It's time. It's that freedom of time to spend with your family when you need to be with your family, and to spend with your loved ones and your friends when you decide that that's what you need to do. That is just such a valuable thing to have, and I know that's something that I've experienced with this business as well, of just having time to spend. I also work full-time, but I have time to spend with my family that I would not have given myself that luxury before. So, Allie, thank you so, so much. That was wonderful. And next, we are going to hear from Miss Libby Plisky. Libby, you there? Oh, hold on, let me get you off mute. There you go.
I'm here.
There you go.
Okay. I will just talk a little bit about my Plexus journey. My daughter introduced me to it, and I was very skeptical. Really did not want to have anything to do with it, except I wanted to support her. So I went ahead and started it. She suggested that perhaps it would help me with my sleep issues. And I had some really severe sleep issues the last few years before starting Plexus because of my age, probably. But I was waking up literally every 5 minutes at night. And so she suggested I try the Plexus. I also had about 15 pounds that I wanted to lose. And so I thought, well, okay, it's worth a try. But I only started on the Slim. I didn't want to start anything more than that. And I was silly, but I was very skeptical of the Cleanse. The name of it probably really made me nervous. So after a very few days on Plexus, my sleep issues started to just disappear, and I have literally for 2 years now had a good night's sleep every single night. It's been amazing. But I also had a few other wonderful side benefits. I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I am still teaching. I wasn't really looking at Plexus at all as a business opportunity for myself. I was really just looking at it to help out my daughter and to then get a good night's sleep. I will never go off it because it is such a wonderful product. I gradually did add the triplex, the probiotic and the cleanse along with the Slim, and over time it has helped a number of other issues, some eczema issues. I'm a runner and had plantar fasciitis in one foot, and that I noticed it took a long time. You have to be pretty patient. It took a long time, but gradually that just disappeared. And I lost 17 pounds, and I have tons of energy. I have plenty of energy to keep up with all of my kindergartners. I had 31 to begin the year this year, which is a lot of kindergartners. And now I've got the energy to be packing up my classroom and moving to another classroom, and I'll be teaching first next year. The way that Plexus helps me financially is that I feel like I have a little cushion for retirement. I have no intention of retiring ahead of time. I'm still loving it. My teaching career has been, I taught in Alaska, then we moved to Venezuela, and I did not teach while we were down there. Then we came to Houston and I taught. Then we went to Russia and I did not teach. And then Dubai, and then came back here and taught again. So it's been spotty, and teaching has been a wonderful thing for me because it's been so flexible. And I really still love teaching. But I also really am enjoying how Plexus is growing for me as I share it, and how I'll have that extra income that I will be able to continue once I no longer want to be teaching and want to retire. I'll have that extra income to readily fall back on, and I'm just super excited about that. Also, I am just about to rank up in the company, going from silver to gold. So it's been awesome.
Thank you so much, Libby. That was awesome. And I love that you kind of, that you have a different take on it, that you have no intention of quitting teaching. You love what you're doing, and it's really just to have that extra cushion with retirement, which that resonates with so many people. And I love that you said you were skeptic at the beginning and about your sleep. I know that I can vouch at 7.5 months pregnant, I actually made a comment. My husband made a comment to me that he said, "Why are you still sleeping? With the last one, you weren't sleeping at this point, and it's it's the Plexus. It's helping me sleep. And
Yeah.
I also love what you talked about with your plantar fasciitis, and that it does take time. It takes time to get your body healthy. This did not happen overnight, and it is getting your body to an unhealthy stage didn't happen overnight either. So when you commit to the products and get your body healthy from the inside, the changes you'll see in yourself are just phenomenal. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So
It's been wonderful.
that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Well, thank you so much. And next, we are going to hear from Stacy Hoover. Stacy, are you there? I'm going to unmute you.
All right, can you hear me?
There you are.
All right. Hi, I'm a fourth grade teacher at a Title I school, and I have been teaching. This is going to be my 11th year that I'm finishing up next week, so yay for that. And I have a lot of coworkers and friends and family that always ask, why Plexus? And so I want to tell you a little bit about my journey up until this point. So I noticed that the last few years I've had a huge decrease in the amount of energy. And I know, that had a lot to do with lifestyle. It also had to do with getting older, that happens. But I felt like it wasn't normal. I felt like I was missing something. I would work all day. 3:30 would come around. I'd send the kids home. I was exhausted. Yet I still had to grade papers, I still had to go to meetings, staff development, tutoring, sponsor clubs, all the millions of things that we have to do every single day. So when I get home, I would basically just collapse on the couch. I didn't want to move. I just wanted to sit there, watch TV, and do nothing. I noticed that, it was also affecting other areas of my life. My husband and I, we'd go out to eat every single night, didn't want to cook, didn't want to clean, had no interest in that. We were just too tired. Also, same as the others, I was not sleeping well. I either couldn't fall asleep, or when I did fall asleep, I couldn't stay asleep. I'm a thinker, so all night long, I'm just going over okay, how can I help this kid? Or I need to do this, I need to do this, constant to-do list in my head. So really, the only way I could totally shut my brain down was to take Benadryl. And if you've ever done that, you know that when you wake up the next morning, you have what I like to call a Benadryl hangover. And it is the worst feeling ever, especially when you're dealing with a bunch of little kids. I teach 9-year-olds, and they come in, and they're energetic, and they're excited, and they're asking me a million questions, and I'm like, whoa, sit down, I need a minute. And so it wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling to have. I also noticed that all the lesson plans and grading and things that I was having to do at night, I wasn't able to do. I was just too tired. So I was putting them off until the weekend, and so I was getting no break. I just felt like the job was all-consuming. I was working every minute of every day, it felt like, and I really started to dislike my job, which made me really sad because I do love teaching so much. I gained some weight, obviously, from going out to eat so much. I stopped exercising. I was in a terrible mood. Mornings were horrible. My poor husband had to deal with me in the mornings, and it was not good. So I knew something was wrong, but, stubborn, didn't do anything about it. This year, I was given a very difficult class, and I say they're difficult because they're extremely high need. They require a lot of energy, and I felt like I was already depleting my energy reserve, and so now here I'm having to find even more energy that's not actually there, and it was frustrating. So in about October, I felt like I really hit kind of a new low. I was so tired. I was so unhappy. I wanted to quit my job. If I didn't love the kids so much, I probably would have walked out and never gone back. I was just so overwhelmed. So I had seen several of my friends posting about Plexus on Facebook, and so I checked into it, and when I say I checked into it, I spent about 10 minutes researching it. And I brought it up to my husband, and he's an accountant, and so he's like, oh, it's a little pricey, a little skeptical, like, how can that, supplements do that much for you? And so I was like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, so too, but, I just thought I would, check it out. So I let it go, and I continued feeling horrible, and about the end of November, I decided that it was getting worse. I was starting to get sick a lot from just stress and being tired, and it was bad. And so I called up my endocrinologist because I do have thyroid problems. When I was 15, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which means my thyroid was overactive. I was producing too much. And so I took radioactive iodine, which essentially switched me to hypothyroidism. So now my thyroid doesn't make enough, and I take medicine to supplement that. So sometimes I know from being on for so long, when my thyroid levels get off, I feel like that. So I called up my doctor, said, I'm going to need some blood work. Something's got to happen. So went in, did my blood work. He called me back a few days later, and I remember I was Christmas shopping, and my phone rang, and I was so excited because I was like, this is it. This is going to solve my problems. I'm going to feel better in a few days when they up my medicine. And much to my surprise, he said there was absolutely nothing wrong with my thyroid levels. They were perfect for the medicine that I was on, and that it had to be, just lifestyle. And so I remember hanging up the phone, and I just sat in my car, and I was just bawling because I felt so bad. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with how I was feeling. I wasn't happy with life. It was just horrible. And so in January, I think it was like January 4th, I had seen one of my friends that I knew in high school that had been posting a lot about Plexus and, some New Year's deals they were having, and she had been having a lot of success. I knew I was tired of being tired. I wanted to be happy again. I wanted to love my job again. I just needed some change. So I contacted her. She, came back. We talked about my goals. So I wanted to lose a little weight. I wanted more energy. I wanted better sleep. I was literally eating Tums like candy. I had heartburn so bad. And I also had allergies. So here I had all these problems for these little supplements. But I had decided in my head that if Plexus would fix one or two of those, that was worth it to me because that's how bad I was feeling. So she set me up on Plexus, and my skeptical husband jumped in on the bandwagon with me. So when we ordered our welcome pack, we got the X Factor vitamins with it. And so we started taking those as well. And within the first few weeks, I started seeing some small changes. Like a lot of people before me have said, I was sleeping without Benadryl amazingly. My Fitbit would show I moved like twice at night or 5 times at night, as opposed to 15 or 20 times. I was waking up happy and energized, which is huge for me because I am not a morning person at all, never have been. I would jump out of bed in the morning, usually before the alarm even went off, which is also a big deal because now I'm a big-time snoozer too. I like that. But now I feel like I don't need it anymore. And I also started to notice an increase in energy. I would come home and I had energy to, clean the house or do laundry or grade papers if that's what I wanted to do. My husband and I found some hobbies that we never knew that we would enjoy. We started a garden, which has been so fun, and we, go hiking and go walking with our dog, and it's just been great. It's been a life-changing experience in my personal life as well as my professional life. As the months went on and I continued to take it, I noticed that I was taking less heartburn medicine, which I felt like was amazing because I've struggled with that my entire life. And I went 2 weeks and I was like, oh gosh, I haven't taken any allergy medicine. I live in Houston in spring and I'm not taking any allergy medicine. This is amazing. So I felt like, there was really something to this stuff. As far as my professional side, my teaching side, I felt like I changed so much just in the short time that I've been on Plexus. I feel like I'm not so grumpy and walking around and scowling at the kids and we don't do seat work anymore. We get up and we do stations, and we're happier. I enjoy being with the kids. I laugh all day with them. I feel like I have so much more energy to get things done during the day at school, so I don't bring things home at night, which I think is huge. You need that work-life balance that I so struggled with before. I had several students comment about a month after I started taking Plexus, and of course they didn't know I was taking Plexus, but one of them said something about, "You're so happy all the time," and another one said something about, "I just love how you're smiling. I'm so glad you're my teacher." And while those are very nice comments and they made my heart happy, it also made me really, really sad, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, because that is what every kid deserves. They deserve a teacher that loves them, that loves their job, and that has this energy and excitement for learning. I feel like somewhere along the way, with all of the extra stuff that they require of teachers, I kind of lost that. I feel like all day long, I was trying to be everything for everybody, and I was the one that was suffering. It was me that I was letting kind of go by the wayside. I feel like I let the paperwork and the mundane parts of the job cloud my real joy and my real love for teaching. I'm very, very thankful that I have friends that are brave enough to post on Facebook. Without Cameron, I would still be super unhealthy, super unhappy. I would have probably quit my job with no extra income, by the way. So I feel like Plexus has made me feel so much younger. Somebody asked me the other day how old I was, and I was like, I'm 18, because that's what I feel like. When I was at field day with my kids, this was the first field day in probably 5 years that I enjoyed it as much or more than the kids did. I was running circles around them. They were ready to go inside. No, we're still at field day. So it's been awesome. As far as, the business side, I told Cameron in the beginning, and I told my husband, not want to sell this stuff. Like, I am joining because I want to feel better. I'm not interested. Well, then I started telling my friends about it, and the results that I'm seeing and how happy it's making me and how, energy and sleeping well, I tell everybody now. Anybody that will listen, and even sometimes people who won't listen, I still tell them. And I did rank to silver ambassador, and I do have my eyes set on gold. I will get there and beyond. I just love this stuff. It's been life-changing for me. My only regret now is that I waited so long. I wish, I feel like I spent a lot of time just surviving, and now I feel like I'm really, really thriving. As far as my next steps, I have had a really rough year, and so after a lot of prayerful consideration, I am going to take next year off. It'll only be a short mini retirement, that's what we're calling it, and I'm going to look at other ways that I can help kids, through nonprofit, volunteering, helping out the teachers that I know and love so much. I just feel like I need a little break to really refocus on what I love and why I love teaching, because it's a hard job. I feel like all day long you're constantly being needed and you're giving of yourself all day, every day. And then if you have anyone outside home, a pet, a kid, a husband, even yourself, you also have to take care of that. And usually, unfortunately, it's yourself that suffers. Because teaching will always be my first love. I do feel like it is amazing and so rewarding and so important. And I commend all the teachers out there because it is hard work. So I'm really looking forward to growing my business this year while I take a little time off and using my new energy and my positive outlook to really influence others.
Stacey, that is awesome. That is so cool. I mean, how many other jobs can you just say, you know what, I need to take a step back. I need to take a break. I need to realize what I want and figure out what I want to do. I'm going to take a step back. And the fact that Plexus gives you that, like we were talking about, freedom of time to do what you want, you get to take a year off and figure out what kind of school you want to work with, what kind of kids you want to work with, if you want to go back to regular school or do nonprofit work, how you want to help people. And I love that you brought up how you're going to enjoy life and just be more fulfilled with life, and realizing that when you're sharing Plexus with your friends, you're sharing the gift of Plexus with your friends. You're showing them how good they can feel and how amazing they can feel. And it full circles back to the joy of truly helping others. And I mean, that's what teachers do. They truly help teach people, and they help families make sure their children are educated and lead better lives. And by getting people healthy and feeling their best, that sense of accomplishment is, I can say for myself as well, is huge, of just feeling like I'm doing good and I'm helping people. It's a wonderful, wonderful job. So thank you so much, Stacy. And our last speaker tonight is going to be Miss Jill Renfro.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Jill.
Hi. Okay, so I had to get off of my computer and I'm on my cell phone. I live in the country and the wind blew, so that meant that we lost Wi-Fi or something happened. I don't know. The cloud came over the cord outside. Something happened. So, hey, friends, I am Jill Renfro. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm super pumped to be talking to you tonight because I'm going to get to tell you that I am going to set my alarm clock for 5 more times. That's it. 5 more times I am going to set my alarm clock to get up and put on a pair of khaki capris that I hate. I was just telling my husband the other day, I hate khaki capris. I hate black capris. I mean, you just, dress the part, and to drive into town and to go do Mrs. Renfro. I feel like, I'm going to speak to some other teachers out there. I love kids. Let me go ahead and put that down there first. And there we go. I love kids. It's not kids. It's all the other mumbo jumbo. And I have known since day one, week one, this wasn't it for me. It was not it for me. I got my first teacher paycheck years ago, and I remember getting it, and I was at my mama's house, and I cried. I cried really hard because I had never been so tired. I felt that saying, rode hard, hung up, wet to dry kind of thing. That's how I felt. And I bawled. And I came from, when I was in college, I was waiting tables and bartending. I love waiting tables and bartending because I love people. I love to talk to people, and I felt like I worked for me. The harder that I worked, the more compensated I got because of tips. And with teaching, I came with that same work ethic, and I worked really hard. And I didn't get compensated anymore. I didn't get patted on the back anymore. I didn't get a high five. I didn't get a woohoo, a slap slap. I got scores. And yeah, scores are awesome, but that's it. Scores go in the folder and on you go. And maybe it's just me. I'm speaking to these other teachers out there. I felt like a number. I did. I felt like I was, stamped as cattle. Next, next. And that's how I felt. And I didn't want to feel that way. I worked way too dang hard to get that paycheck and didn't feel the reward. I've always taught in a Title I school. If you don't know what that is, it's a low income. All of my kiddos have free and reduced lunch program, every single one of them. I don't have a homeroom mom. I don't have PTO. I don't have PTA. I've never been bought a teacher gift or anything like that. Not that those things are, what makes it to be, but that just gives you a little bit of explanation of what type of school I am. And I would take my school any day over the other school on the other side of town. I love those kids. I do. I generally love those kids, and they need somebody who loves them, and I do feel like I make a difference there. I feel like I make a difference for them, not so much a difference for me, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to keep telling you I love kids because I do. I don't want you to get off this call and say, that Jill Renfro girl, she should never be in the classroom. No, I know what I've done is right. And I've been in the place where God has wanted me at this time in my life. But I knew that there was more. There was more than those 4 walls. And when I would close my eyes and I would envision old Mrs. Renfro, oh, I taught your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids' kids, I couldn't see it. I could not see it. I tried so hard. even I've taught kids who I've taught their brother or sister and their brother and sister. I'm on the third set now, or and so I've had the moms tell me, hey, you're going to get my next one, and the next one's in like pre-K. Well, I teach third grade, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't, like, that's years to come. So I've known something was going to give, change. I didn't know what, but something was. And, it was scary not knowing, because I thought, do I have to do this every day for the rest of my life? And when I say do this, I don't mean take care of kids. That's not it. I mean all the extra and a lot of things that people don't even know about that teachers do. They think we, walk in at 7 and walk out at 3 and yippee skippy and all is good. Not quite. My conferences are spent in ARD meetings and 504 meetings. Those are for, special ed kids and needs kids. I'm spent, with a child who's had a behavior meltdown issue, so I don't get the conference because I've got to deal with them because he acted like a wacko and he's not going to PE. I've got to deal with that. I'm writing referrals. I'm, coddling babies. I'm being their mama because their mama didn't show up to the award ceremony. I'm decorating for parties. I'm buying the Capri Suns. I'm buying the extra pencils. I don't have a homeroom mom. And it's been a lot, and it took a lot on my health. And I gained, I got married right after my first year teaching, and then I gained weight, happy fat, and also stressed fat. You take stress of teacher life plus happy you're going to get married, put those together, and you eat Whataburger a lot. And you have, adult beverages more than not that are contained sugary, ingredients, and it just took a toll on my health. When it took a toll on my insides, my acne was at its all-time worst. My ulcers in my mouth were so big, they were the size of dimes. I'm not lying to you, dimes, the ulcers inside my mouth. That's called stress and bad immune system. I was like a zombie getting about the bed. I had the watery eye yawns. When you yawn and your eye, like, you just can't stop, and it's like your head like shakes, you yawn so big. That was what I did daily. Rachel and Allie have already spoken on the call tonight and have kind of mentioned me. I've gotten the opportunity to teach with both of these ladies, being co-teachers, my hallway buddies and my potty buddies, because when I have to go pee, they watch my children at some point in time. So they've seen it. And so when Rachel said I'd walk in with that Starbucks, I did. And my Starbucks used to be my used to be my Friday treat. And then it turned into my Thursday and Friday treat. And then it was turned into my Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday treat. And then it was just turning into, hey, girl, go get you one. And it was bad. And I started to rely on fried foods and caffeine and naps. I would count down the hours of until I can just go home and lay down. And I felt drained. And I was working so hard. I did Saturday school and after school tutorials, and I gave up my conferences, and I worked through lunch with kids. The school that I'm at, scores are a big deal, because if the scores don't come in, the doors get closed. And we all care too much about these kids in this district and this school for that to happen. And my babies walk in. I teach third grade. 75% of my children walk in on a kindergarten first grade reading level. 75% of them when I get them at the beginning of the school year. And my goal is to not only get them to third grade, but to get them to fourth grade reading, because that's where they're going to leave me at. So I don't have babies that scores walk through the door, where they're already reading at home and mom takes them to tutorials on her own dime and reads with them. I don't have that. My kids don't have books, most of them. My kids don't have a mom that's home because she's working a night shift job, or they're living with grandma or something like that. And it's hard. And I have loved these kids so hard. I've bought some of them clothes. I buy snacks. I buy goodies because I love the kids. And I've continued to do this every year after year after year because of the kids, because of the babies. I love them, and I want to make a difference in their lives. But it took a massive toll on my health. So 2 years ago, like Rachel and Allie were saying, when they about joined, I joined, and I said, something's got to give. I'm so over buying the next pant size up and I was in a size 10, and I told myself I was not buying a size 12. That was not going to happen. I was on 5 prescription medications at the time, 4 being for cystic acne. That's a lot. And my immune system was shot, and Plexus came into my life, and my health turned around. Like Rachel said, over that summer I lost about 15 pounds. Well, then over that fall I lost another 15 pounds, and by Christmas that year I was down 30 pounds. So this is not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. My acne, my face started clearing up. I wasn't counting down the hours till bedtime anymore, and when my alarm would go off, I'd actually get up. I wouldn't set it and snooze it and set it and snooze it. You know what I'm talking about. And I got up, and it felt good. I was craving water. My Starbucks little habit was going down, and when I'd buy them, I wouldn't even finish them. That was what was weird for me. It would sit on my desk and just get cold, and it was real weird. So I just knew something was different about these products. Okay, so needless to say, our products work, because if they didn't, none of us would be here today to even talk about this stuff. So I'm going to go back to the business of what it did for me. My first paycheck with Plexus was enough to about get my nails done and get my hair done. That was about what it is, and I was excited because it did not go into our budget, and my husband worked in the oil field, and y'all, when oil is good, it's so good, and when oil is bad, it's so bad. And oil was good, and, you know, I was like, fun money, that's good. We were doing fine financially. We spent more than we should. We blew a lot of money. We should have put more back in savings when it was real good, but we didn't. We just had fun. And then I got my second Plexus paycheck. And my second Plexus paycheck was enough to cover our rent. At the time, we were not homeowners, we were renters, and it covered that. And that's when both of our eyes got about this big and went like, are you kidding me? What is this? All you're doing is sharing with people what you're loving and what you're taking, and your friends are joining you, and your friends are joining you. Obviously, Allie joined me, and Rachel joined me, the other girls on the call, and people are joining, and a lot of my teacher friends are joining me, because we're all in the same boat together, and that boat's going slow, really slow. I think we lost an oar way back there. That's how we were feeling. And y'all, I ran with it. I said, if I can make our rent in month 2 with this opportunity, this could be it. My husband's name is Dakota, and I was telling him, I'm going to leave my job. I am going to retire from teaching. And I'm not going to lie, he laughed a little bit, and he went, yeah, that's funny. And I said, no, I am. I so am. You know, I've wanted out of the classroom. You've known this is something I want to do. And he's like, you are not going to make a salary with this. There's not a way. You're making fun money, Jill. Okay, you're making a couple $100. It's not going to, it's not, you know, don't get your hopes up, babe. And I said, you mark my words, brother boy, and this is happening. So I ran with the business even more. And then my why in the business not only changed to me, but changed to him. Oil got so good in the end of 2014 that he was gone every single day, and he worked 7 months straight without a day off, 7 months straight. And for the first, you know, year of our relationship, our marriage relationship, I guess you would say, he was gone 6 of those months. Me not even seeing him, but like once a month on a weekend for like 4 hours, and he would sleep half the time because he was so tired, and he'd drive in 12 hours to come and see me. And then finally, when he got home, he wasn't even home. He was out on a rig 24/7. I mean, it was crazy. We never saw each other. And I said, this isn't just going to bring me home. This is going to bring you home. And then he laughed again. And he was like, yeah, right. Because oil money is good, babe. And I don't see how your little pink drinky money over here is gonna even come comparable to that. Well, y'all, I ran with the business even harder and even harder. And I drew my line. And I said, no more. Like, we both are too young and too tired. And the reason we don't have kids today is not because of health. I don't even know if I have health issues because we haven't even tried, because I'm too scared to try, because we're not home, and we have way too much going on. And I'm over here, mama and all my little children in 3rd grade, and I'm pulled 90 directions, and he's off to the wild blue yonder. I just can't fathom the fact of both of us coming home and trying to be parents. Like, I feel like that'd be selfish to our children because who would watch them? I don't even know. We'd hire a nanny. I don't even know. I feel so bad for my dog half the time that thank God my mom lives 10 miles up the road and my mom watches my dog and feeds him and will let him out and things like that because we're like on go-go gadget mode. So I just knew something's got to give. What are we going to do? And it hit me like a ton of bricks that I knew I had to get out of teaching no matter what. Like, I had to. I want kids. I want to be a mom one day. And I've told y'all about the way I am in the classroom with these kiddos. I'm the one at the award ceremony. I'm setting up Valentine's parties. I'm doing Christmas. I'm wrapping the books up for book exchange. I'm doing field day. I'm doing classroom picnic. I'm doing that. Field trips. Who's going to do that for my kids one day? Who? My husband's off on a rig all day. I'm in here. What's going to happen? And it scared me. And y'all bad. And I knew, Plexus was within 9 months of teaching, 9 months of being on Plexus and working the business, I matched my teacher salary. Huge. Within 18 months of Plexus, I ranked Emerald in 15 months. And within 18 months of Plexus, I'd already tripled my teacher salary. Today, I'm 23 months into Plexus. Next month is my 2-year anniversary, Plexiversary. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. Next month's my 2 years, and I have already more than 4 times my teacher salary. And in January, we did make the decision to bring my husband home. And right now, my husband works a normal type of job. He calls his shots. He welds during the day, and he builds fences and roofs. And that's like his passion, y'all. He's the jack of all trades. And he does these things that he loves, and he comes home white. And like, if you're like, what? My husband used to come home black on black on black on black. And like, you only saw the whites of his eyes, and my washing machine is forever ruined. And that is still something that I'm going to buy me. I'm about to get me something nice with I'm going to do that. That's going to be something because I have bleached my washing machine over and over and over because of these old clothes. I don't have to do that anymore. It's pretty exciting. His clothes are normal. He still smells awful, but his clothes are normal. That is amazing. And I have 5 more alarm clocks, and it has hit me every single week, this probably past 6 weeks, when I've done the last thing, it's the last 6 weeks of school. The last field trip was yesterday. The last time to turn in grades was today. The last time to do my end of the year folders. The last time to do awards. Every time I've done one of those things, I'm like, oh my God. And yesterday, it was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. We took our kids to the safari yesterday, and I had a llama, and I had a monkey on my head, and I had, it was just crazy. I had a buffalo beside me. We had a blast with my kiddos, but let me just tell you, I was exhausted. I was beat up, sun killed, lost my voice, screaming, hollering. I'd only had monkeys jumping on me, but kids jumping on me, and I was exhausted. And I had a headache yesterday, and I don't get headaches anywhere near as often as I used to. But I just needed me time, and I needed quiet time, and I wanted to come home and take a shower and just debrief. And I did that, and I sat on my front porch in a rocking chair yesterday and watched my dog just smell our entire land. He likes to do that, and tears just down my face. I have never felt so much at peace in my entire life than I do right now. I know God put Plexus in my path for a reason. I know He knew what we needed in our marriage and what we wanted to do to grow as a family. I know that He knew the desires of my heart before I did, and He answered a prayer before I even got down on my knees and prayed it. It's, to me, is life-changing. And all I wanted to do was get skinny. That was it. That was it. I wanted to get skinny. And I am healthy. I am off medication. I have a dad who is no longer taking insulin anymore. I have an aunt who's down 100 pounds. I have a grandmother who doesn't run to the bathroom constantly. I have a mom who has energy and up and moving and going. I have a whole family who loves Plexus. I have a whole friend network who loves Plexus. My entire school, I have 20 teachers right now who are either an ambassador or an customer, and it's changed the demeanor of our campus. People walk into our campus and they're like, girl, you got that pink drink too? Oh, it's over at this elementary 2 school. Oh, y'all under Jill? Oh, yeah, she shared with her. And we go to these district meetings, and it's like 50 people are in there with these pink drinks, and they're like, hey, girl, hey. it's just brought so many together. And this year on my campus, I am retiring 3, including myself. And within the district, we have 5 who are leaving. It's insane. It is completely insane and such a blessing. And I'm honored that you got to hear me ramble tonight. And I'm honored that you got to hear all of these stories, because we would not be here first and at all if we did not have products that work. This business would not mean a thing if products did not work, and the products would not do anything if we did not have a God that provided and a God that knew our desires of our heart. So if you absolutely love teaching and it is your true passion, this is still something for you. Or if you are forced out of your job like Allie, this is something for you. Or if you want to take a leap of faith like Rachel, it's something for you. Or if you want to take a year off like Stacy, it's something for you. Or if you've known from day one that sister got to go, like me, this is something for you. We have 5 types of ladies on this call tonight with 5 different stories. It doesn't matter age. I'm under the age of 30 myself. I don't have children. It doesn't matter that. And people would say, oh, you're young. Well, no, I'm inexperienced. So, you know what? We all have something going against us, and we all have a red card that hits us. We do. It doesn't matter your story. It doesn't matter where you came from. It matters where you're going. And if you have any inclination of that you want something different or something more in where you're going, I promise you Plexus is for you. And you call that person who joined you tonight and you tell them, tell me more, because this is too huge to not. It is too huge to not. Even if it's just to get your health on track and be the healthy teacher that you want to be and be in field day. This is something for you. So I'm honored to share with y'all tonight. I'm glad I got to join you in my pajamas.
Thank you so much, Jill. That was awesome. That was awesome. I always love hearing your story. And I kind of want to tie the two together because I thought it was so cool. And my heart hurts for you that you were upset with your first paycheck as a teacher. But look at your story of saying you got your first paycheck as a teacher and cried, thinking like, this is not enough. I worked harder than this. I deserve more than this. And then Allie getting her first paycheck through Plexus and calling you and saying, I think something went wrong. Somebody paid me too much. I don't think this is the right amount of money. So think of the difference there. And think of the time that has passed from that girl sitting there thinking, this teaching job, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if this is for me. And taking that leap of faith, just wanting to get skinny, but being willing to tell people about it, and taking the leap of faith and how much that has just transformed your life. And
but what's been even better, like my life, but then like I get to see, like obviously Allie and Rachel on the call tonight. Y'all, those are my friends. Like those are my people. Like their life is forever changed. So even if this isn't for you, share with the teacher that you know could need it.
Exactly. You never, ever know who needs this. And one thing you brought up that I do want to reiterate about Plexus is a debt-free company. If anyone's skeptical about Plexus, definitely talk to the ambassador that invited you, and we can give you more information. Plexus is a debt-free company that offers a 60-day money-back guarantee. We have a 1% return rate on that 60-day money-back guarantee. So if we were a company selling products that didn't work, how would we be debt-free? That doesn't happen. So definitely talk to people about it. And Plexus is here to stay. These products are incredible. They are changing lives, and they're here to stay. So that is all for our meeting tonight. I want to thank everyone for logging in and watching this meeting. Whether you watched it live or you're watching this as a recording that someone sent you later on, I want you to know how much we understand the value of your time. I know you guys are busy. I know you teachers are so busy. And we understand the value of your time, and we really appreciate you taking time out to learn about another way, a possible way to change your life forever through getting you and those you love to their healthiest. So again, I encourage you to touch base with the ambassador who told you about this call and ask them about Plexus and how it's changed their life. and how it can change yours the same way. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.